You cannot live by politics alone.
No, you cannot.
And, you know, this Sunday is the Oscars.
Really?
Yes, that would be the Academy Awards. This is the big deal. This is all about the movies.
That's the one for movies, right?
This is the one for movies.
Okay.
And, you know, I have a lot. I mean, people kind of refer to me as the Hugh Grant of the new media.
No one has ever said that.
I hear it all the time.
Is that because of the ladies you pick up on Melrose?
See, I knew you would go the prostitute route.
Well, then you shouldn't have said it, should you?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're playing fast and loose with the term ladies there. I would just like to say.
She was divine. Let's just say that.
And so I think that we need to sort of touch on the movies and talk about this very big weekend coming up. The Oscars go beyond the movies. It's about our culture. It's about.
But if only there was someone we could talk to about this. Someone on the line.
Someone maybe who is familiar with the Dennis Miller audience.
And someone who's involved in big Hollywood. And
the Breitbart sites, because, of course, this whole week has sort of been a fabulous showcase for the Breitbart sites.
Free advertising? Is that what it was for the Breitbart sites?
Not at all. We're free labor.
Yeah, well, no.
Not exactly.
You're almost free labor, but you do get paid.
We got to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, we should.
Yes. So who else would be the perfect person to come in and analyze what we're about to go through this Sunday? But the only big Hollywood associate editor, Christian Toto. Christian?
Hey. I know someone will be perfect for the slot, but if I don't find him in the next 10 minutes, I'll give him my level best.
We'll settle for you, Toto.
Yes.
So my wife said.
That's nice. So, Christian, first of all, thank you, by the way, for calling me the Hugh Grant of the new media. I very much appreciate that moniker that you've given me.
I'm pushing it on social media. I think it's going to really take off.
You should. In fact, I'm going to grab the Twitter handle Hugh Grant of the new media right now. So this Sunday is the big day. Let's talk about the horse race, first of all, for Best Picture. Let's get that out of the way. We still have, 7,000 movies nominated, right?
Yeah, well, they figured they nominated enough. At least one of them might be worth the golden statuette. I have to say, I know it's sort of a cranky critic thing to say, this wasn't a great year, or these pictures aren't the best, blah, blah, blah. No, these pictures were great. I think the artist is going to walk away with Best Picture. I thought it was a fine film. It was sweet, very appealing lead actor and actress, and a great homage to old films, but that speaks more to the people who are voting in Hollywood than I think the regular folks. In fact, the film really hasn't made a lot of money so far, so I think when people are going to see the Best Picture, if it's the artist, they're going to say, I haven't seen that, and I don't know anyone who has.
Well, I was lamenting to Christian Blatt during the break here, before we started here, that I had not seen any of the movies that are up for nomination, and he said, almost shocked, almost outraged that you haven't seen The Artist?
Well, I would just say that The Artist is probably, out of all the ones that are nominated, that's the one that, it's so different than anything else, and as Christian Toto said, this is confusing because we have the same name, but as Christian Toto said, it is very charming, and I think that the Hollywood, the people who vote, the Academy members, they just like the reminder of a time when their town was great. They're like, what we did used to be fantastic. Let's vote for this.
Well, that is a little up my alley. I like that kind of thing. I'll never forget my favorite part of the movie Chaplin, the Robert Downey Jr. Portrayal of Charlie Chaplin, is when he gets off the train, when he first arrives at the Max Sennett Studios, and he looks out at this valley that was just farmland, and the little title across the bottom of the screen says San Fernando Valley. And is there something about that frontier? Is that the essence of what you get from The Artist?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the beginning, and also to storytelling basics. It's like movie making 101. We're not going to have any dialogue. It's going to be actually the music is beautiful, but nothing we're used to. We don't have color film stock. It's black and white. You've got actors who mostly you haven't seen before. There's some familiar faces in the cast, but when things work, it works. And this is a charming film. There's a dance sequence at the end. There's slapstick. There's a cute dog. There's a lot of things you can kind of.
Well, the dog's very cute. You laugh because you haven't seen it, but the dog, if there was a best dog category, I think that dog would win hands down. Paws down.
Well, let's inelegantly transition from the best dog to best actress. Here.
Yikes!
Is this Maggie Thatcher's year?
I thought it was, but it seems like the real sentiment is going towards Viola Davis for The Help. Meryl Streep seems to get nominated every year, and she seems to lose every year the last maybe decade or so. I think that may be the case again. Viola Davis is one of those actresses who's on the rise. She's terrific. She does challenging work. It's a great performance. And, maybe the fact that Streep is playing a figure who's maybe not beloved on the left, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to hurt her a bit. Maybe the fact that she seems so good and it's almost like a gimme that she gets nominated every year. Maybe people forget to actually nominate her or to kind of cast their vote for her to win. So.
I know it sounds strange to say this after she's won so many statues in the past, but aren't we almost sort of taking her talent for granted at this point? That every time she does a great job. Even Mamma Mia, which was a lousy film, she was quite good.
Yeah, I went into the film with my arms crossed, thinking, okay, she's going to do another impersonation, blah, blah, blah. We know the accents, we know the shtick. And she's great. She's terrific at it. She's mesmerizing. The film is tons of flaws, but there's not anything I can say badly about her performance. It's terrific. So that's the real race here between those two actresses.
But that's really, it's pretty much it. It's just those two.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And what about Best Actor? How are we looking over there?
This is a tougher category. A lot of times the Oscars you can basically just pick out the winner pretty easily and you can go into your Oscar pool with some confidence. This is a tougher one. I think on paper you're looking at Clooney with The Descendants and Brad Pitt and Moneyball, two big movie stars, great performances. It seems pretty obvious, but there's a couple of sneaky things that could happen here. First of all, Damien Bashir from A Better Life, he plays an illegal immigrant trying to make a better life for his son. I think this one, if there's going to be sort of a shock win, I think this is it. And then also, you can't discount the artist, Jean Desjardins.
Yeah, Jean Desjardins really is getting a lot of attention, isn't it?
Yeah, portraying the story without saying a word, dancing, singing, capturing the old school Hollywood. He does it all. And, I think he's going to have a really big career in Hollywood in the next few years, but this could be the launching pad.
But can't we give it to Gary Oldman just because he will give a great speech? God, I love Gary Oldman, and he's so classy.
He was so good in the movie Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It's such a dialed-down performance. When they show the Oscar scenes, there's no Oscar meaty, tearing down the scenery role. It's just sort of quiet and subdued, but it's chilling and it's good and he's interesting and radiates intelligence, which really helps the film work.
Well, if it radiates intelligence, there's no way he'll win an award for that. and by the way, our guest is Christian Toto, of course, the associate editor of Big Hollywood and a film expert. And it really listen, you've got a job that everybody would love to have because you actually have to see all this stuff, whereas I haven't seen any of it. But really fast, back to Best Actors, I just want to give people for who will be watching Sunday night something to look for. Glenn Close is also nominated, and these two know each other. They go all the way back to the theater days. I mean, before any of them were known. One of them went to Juilliard, and I think Glenn Close went to Yale Rep. And they I don't think I'm telling tales out of school here. They don't like each other.
Ooh,
and maybe only Broadway people know this, but I want you to keep an eye on Glenn Close's face when Meryl Streep's name is announced as the winner.
And vice versa.
Well, no, it's only going to go one way, and actually, I've only.
What about both their faces when Viola Davis wins?
Then they'll do the golf clap.
Yeah, okay.
No, Glenn Close will be fine if Viola Davis wins. Go back and watch when Meryl Streep wins the Golden Globe this year. Look at what Glenn Close does. It's really something. So
maybe Glenn Close will win the best performance at an Oscar ceremony.
That's right. Right. She'll stand up with tears streaming down her face, giving a standing ovation for her very good friend Meryl Streep. All right. So Christian, let's talk about the show for a minute, because as a show guy, as a Broadway guy, I love the stagecraft of the Oscars, because this is a bunch of Hollywood people trying to put on a live stage event, and it never goes well, and there's always some disaster. We've got Billy Crystal coming back as host this year, right?
Yeah, it's not like they have a whole year to prepare for this. Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, Billy Crystal is going to bring back his musical montage, which he has done so well in so many years. Of course, now he's got to do 9 movies, so he may be exhausted by the time the show.
That's right. Oh my God! And by the way, it'll be 45 minutes until we get to the first award.
Exactly, which is part of the problem. I watched the Grammys recently, and say what you will about the Grammys, they keep it moving. It's quickly paced. It goes beat, beat, beat. You get the songs, you get the wins, you get the silly speeches, you get the everything. I just wish the Oscars would maybe inch into the 21st century, but at least we have Billy Crystal. He's a pro. That's the best you can get.
And knowing the actors and actresses who are nominated, and also the craftsmen, the directors, the writers behind the scenes, knowing that this is a political year, and the fact that Rick Santorum and contraception and all that stuff is in the news right now, who's most likely to grandstand at the microphone and give us a Michael Moore moment?
Well, that's a tough call. I don't think there's any obvious candidates. The actor who's in the film A Better Life could talk about immigration issues because it's near and dear to his heart, and also the film. Boy, I don't know if Sean Penn's going to present. Clooney seems to be smart enough to avoid these kind of topics on nights like this. So I don't know. Streep, you never know what she's going to say. She's so beloved in the industry. I think it kind of gives her a bit of a security blanket that she can kind of speak at will. But I actually think the biggest possibility is the Muppets. Kermit and Piggy are going to be on hand. That the whole brouhaha about Fox News and about the Muppets being anti-oil. I think if you're going to hear a comment, it might come from them.
I don't think they'll be given the floor, though. I don't think
they're going to be presenters, though.
Right, they're going to be presenters. And so what was the verdict on the song performances, by the way? So they're not going to have – there's only 2 songs nominated. And was the end result that they're not going to have the songs performed?
Yeah, I think that's the last thing I heard. And it was sort of a bone to throw to the Muppet Nation that they would present because I think they were –
Well, Muppet Nation gets its flippers in a wad, so you have to be careful.
You are such a Muppet apologist.
Hey, somebody has to be on this show.
I don't know why you're always defending them. They are pinko commies.
They're the only ones who loved me as a child. All right, Larry, you didn't. Christian Toto wasn't around to take care of me.
I will never forgive them after Muppet Babies. It was all over.
Oh my God, I loved the Muppet Babies. But anyway, that's not what Christian Toto's here for.
All right, Christian Toto. Well, thank you so much for giving us all this insight because again, I didn't see a damn thing. I don't know anything about this. I'm still annoyed that the Warhorse didn't pay any royalties back to the producers of the play.
That's different, though, right?
It's based on the same product, and that no one would know. And Steven Spielberg even says that he was inspired by the Broadway play.
But it was based on a book, right?
Yes. The point is, there would be no film if it weren't for the play, and yet the
Christian,
producers.
Did you see Warhorse? Because I didn't.
Yeah.
The movie, I mean.
Love the Horse, didn't like the movie.